Saw some people concerned about this news. American company Blackstone Inc. to acquire Japan's largest e-manga site in a $1.7 billion deal. That's USD, $1.7 billion. Anime Hunch saying competing against Sony Music Entertainment and KKR & Co. Now, all of these companies, Blackstone, Sony, KKR, they're all in deep with the corruption we've seen rampant in the West regarding DEI and ESG. You know, this fake sort of grifty, oh, we care so much about stuff, but nah, not really. What you really have is corpos being corpos, trying to lie to people, get sustainable loans with as cheap as rates as possible, and often this approach actually makes things worse and ends up accruing a bunch of debt. Lately, we've seen many firms actually pulling back on ESG and DEI. So back to the current news, when you had these three major corporations, Blackstone, Sony, and KKR trying to acquire Infocom, Japan's largest e-manga site, as they write at Anime Hunch, it's really a sort of like pick your poison situation. Now, for the record, there's Blackstone and BlackRock, which gets a bit confusing due to the similar names and similar investment profiles and all that. But to my understanding, they're not the same company anymore. Back in 1994, BlackRock split apart from Blackstone. So when we're talking about this news with this manga platform and all that, Infocom, we're talking about Blackstone. Now, this is not good news, in my opinion. You know, it's just further Western corruption that can seep into an industry that we know and love and potentially make it worse. However, this is also not surprising considering that months back, the Prime Minister of Japan, Fumio Kishida, had literally called on BlackRock and other funds, well, he got other funds, to invest in Japan's future. Now, as we see, we got Blackstone getting involved here with Infocom, as we've said now multiple times in this video. Anyways, that takes me to a comment I got on my earlier segment today regarding Japanese companies investing in this machine translation company, Mantra. And this comment I got on that video says, so you're not going to mention how Blackstone is going to ruin this opportunity? And as you can see here, my response, I say Blackstone is regarding Infocom, not Mantra. I had a little typo there. Meant to say Mantra, my bad. So let me just clarify this a little bit further for anyone who may be confused. The situation from the earlier video is talking about this company Mantra that many Japanese companies related to anime and manga like Shueisha, Shogakukan, etc., are investing in for machine translations. That, of course, would have a negative impact on EN localizers, and many anime and manga fans would view that as good news. Unless you're a fan of corrupt EN localizers, then you might have a different opinion. So that's one situation. Then on the other hand, we have this other recent news regarding Blackstone and Infocom, which in my opinion is not good news. However, it's unwise to conflate those two different situations together. And look, some people might just be confused about this stuff. I totally get it. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just trying to clarify this further and say, like, there's no reason to turn a dub into an L, to be like completely blackpilled just because around the same time that we had good news, there was also bad news. I think it's wise to be more nuanced than that. You can take a look at both situations and come to a reasonable assessment about both. In closing, what is Blackstone going to do with Infocom? Well, according to Blackstone's head of private equity in Japan, it sounds like they're going to focus on building up further original content in Japan before attempting to expand that overseas. Saying the more original content we have, we can monetize that intellectual property over time. We can create animation or merchandising around that, which is going to be the potential opportunity in the midterm. I'll end with this. While I think the news regarding Blackstone and Infocom is overall negative, I don't think it's like the end of the world or anything. I'm not going to be like, oh guys, this sky is falling. I want to see what this original content that they're claiming to produce will end up like, and then further assess the situation from there and develop my opinion from there. As it stands, if they're only going to further westernize like Japanese media, I think that's going to be bad for them and bad for Japan. It only hurts Japan's competitive advantage. So we'll see how extreme any changes they make are or aren't. And once again, then I'll further assess the situation at that point in time. That's all I got to say for now, though. As always, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this coverage. If you did, consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.